Terence Crawford vs. Canelo Alvarez is one of the most discussed fantasy matchups in modern boxing. From the moment fans started imagining the fight, it was clear why. Crawford is a fluid switch hitter who mixes timing, angles, and precision better than almost anyone. Canelo is a compact counterpuncher with elite defense, explosive combinations, and some of the best pressure in the sport. Both fighters rarely lose exchanges, which is what makes this matchup so interesting. The biggest question going into this fight is whether Crawford's timing and footwork can neutralize Canelo's pressure and power. Crawford likes to lure opponents forward, catch them stepping in, and then punish them with sharp counters. Canelo prefers to cut the ring, make opponents freeze, and counter their reactions with fast hooks and uppercuts. Their strengths collide in almost every moment of this matchup. Crawford's main tools are his jab, his ability to switch stances, and the way he reads reactions. He often starts orthodox, throws a probing jab, then switches southpaw to create new angles. Against a fighter like Canelo, this switching is meant to disrupt rhythm and force Canelo to reset. Crawford also uses small steps backward to bait opponents into overreaching. If Canelo tries to launch a big shot from too far, Crawford will be ready with a counter left hand or a sweeping right hook. But Canelo has answers. He has one of the best high guards in boxing. When opponents throw or switch stances, he inches forward behind a tight guard, slipping and rolling shots while slowly cutting the ring. Crawford's habit of stepping back could allow Canelo to corner him, especially if he keeps switching stances too often. Canelo is also known for body shots that take movement away. If he gets close enough, he will dig both hands into Crawford's ribs to slow him down. Early in the fight, Crawford would likely try to control distance. He would jab from southpaw, step out of range, and pepper Canelo with quick counters whenever Canelo reached in. Canelo would respond by slipping under the jab and coming forward behind feints. Both fighters would attempt to read each other's timing. Crawford would look for Canelo's predictable dips before throwing his counters. Canelo would look for Crawford's stance switches and try to catch him mid-transition. Canelo's biggest challenge would be Crawford's ability to disguise punches. Crawford often hides his power shots behind small taps or light jabs. Canelo usually anticipates counters well, but Crawford throws from unusual angles. Still, Canelo's pressure makes it dangerous for Crawford to stay on the ropes or in the corners for long. Canelo has beaten slick fighters before by stepping close, rolling their punches, and attacking the body until they stop moving. Around the middle of the fight, the adjustments would begin. Canelo might stop following Crawford and instead let Crawford step forward. This creates traps. When opponents commit to offense, Canelo catches them with counterhooks and uppercuts. Crawford, being a thinker, would also adjust. He might stop switching stances as often and focus on sharp southpaw counters. He may start jabbing to Canelo's chest to slow Canelo's pressure and disrupt his rhythm. There would be moments where Crawford lands clean shots that surprise the crowd. His speed and timing could snap Canelo's head back, especially when Canelo dips low. But Canelo is used to taking punches from naturally bigger men. Crawford's power might not discourage him as much as it does welterweights. In those moments, Canelo would continue marching forward, using subtle feints to force Crawford into defensive shells. Late in the fight, the exchanges would intensify. Crawford's best success would come when he maintains distance and forces Canelo to reset repeatedly. Canelo's best success would come when he breaks Crawford's rhythm, pins him along the ropes, and lands those thudding body shots. Both fighters are extremely disciplined. Neither makes big mistakes. That's what makes this fight difficult to score as the rounds progress. Crawford might start slowing down just slightly from Canelo's pressure and body attacks. At the same time, Canelo might get hit by more clean counters as Crawford adjusts to his rhythm. Canelo would likely walk through some sharp shots. Crawford would likely slip or roll many of Canelo's power punches. The fight becomes a test of timing versus pressure, accuracy versus strength, and adaptability versus experience at higher weights. When the final rounds arrive, it would come down to who controls the pace. Crawford would try to outbox and outmaneuver Canelo, picking his moments to strike. Canelo would try to break Crawford down physically and mentally, walking him down with calm, steady pressure. Both fighters have championship-level composure. Both would fight to the final bell without backing down. The result could go either way, depending on how judges value clean counters versus forward pressure. Crawford might land the sharper, cleaner punches. Canelo might land the heavier, more meaningful shots. It would likely be a close, debated fight, the type of matchup that fans argue about for years. Regardless of the outcome, the fight represents a meeting of two of the smartest, most skilled fighters of their generation, each capable of neutralizing the other in different ways.